Hi there, this is Ant with your very own unofficial guide to the Furality Somna cipher, also known as Somnus. I am so sorry if I got that name wrong. Whether you don't know what I'm talking about, or you do know what I'm talking about and are curious to learn more, or you're here for some hidden Furality Somna lore, then this is the video for you. Feel free to skip to different parts of the video depending on what you want to get out of this guide. Without further ado, let's get into it. Chapter 1. The Cipher. There are many ciphers scattered throughout the meetup, event, and lobby instances of the Furality Somna convention. They may differ slightly in appearance, but each and every one of them contain the same information. Lowercase letters on top, uppercase letters on the bottom, and punctuation marks below both. Each letter has its corresponding symbol underneath it. For example, my name, Ant, would be spelled like this using the cipher. Chapter 2. Deciphering Text. Now that I've gone over the cipher, if you want to read the symbols yourself, but don't really want to memorize them, I recommend taking a picture of the cipher, or taking out your VRChat camera, pointing it at the cipher so it's easy to read, and setting the camera anchor to world. This makes it so that the camera stays at the cipher when you go somewhere else, giving you an easy way to see which letters are what, and saving you a lot of time going back and forth trying to remember the shapes. Chapter 3. Instant Translation. If you have no interest in deciphering these symbols yourself and just want to know what they say, then the rest of the chapters are for you. I will say though, even though I may have a majority of the text documented and translated, there is a good chance I missed some things, so I encourage you to explore for yourself. We'll start with the most important part of Furality conventions. The entire reason thousands upon thousands of furries gather on VRChat every single year. The food. Jokes aside, there are many marked food items around the map that you should know about, such as this blue box of matcha tea, advertising easy sleep. This green box of matcha tea, advertising original taste. Sorry if I pronounced this wrong, it says Valeriana, and underneath says all for a good dream, and at the very bottom says Somnus tea. This says hot chocolate. This container says Dreamy Pops. This container of milk. This unconvincing bottle saying matcha tea, advertising easy sleep. Another unconvincing bottle of matcha tea advertising easy sleep. And this drink containing something called uwu taste. I don't want to know. Future Ant here, editing the video. The audio did not pick up for this one, so I'm here to tell you that this says Monster Tea. And with that out of the way, it brings us to Chapter 5, Book Translations. There are very clearly many books piled up everywhere around Somna, many of which have titles. I would like to reiterate that I believe I have every book, but it's entirely possible I could be missing some. The titles I've found include the following: Creatures of the Cosmos, Somna Cuisine. It's a bit hard to see, but for some reason the Somna Cuisine book says pickled cucumber on it. Moon, Somna, In Search of the World of Dreams, Constellations, Weave the Clouds, Somna's Culture, where you can discover the culture of the civilization, The Diary of a Constellation, interestingly, Furryhala, The Duck Who Dreams, a book called How Was Made, and finally, The Chronicles of a Dream Traveler. Now that we've seen the books, it's time to move on to Chapter 6, Convention References. This should be a relatively short chapter, but a good one to cover nonetheless. There are many different items scattered around Furality instances referencing past conventions. These items include Crystal Infusion, an original from Luma, Silva's Breeze with premium leaves, and I may be misremembering, but I believe I saw something related to Furality Aqua, even though I couldn't find it for the video. On the more mysterious side of things, we have Chapter 7, the Cosmo Cart. Around the Furality Somna instances, you can find carts with seemingly handwritten or hand-carved text on the inside of the cart with the signature Cosmo at the end on the bottom section. The top section translates to Complete Guide for a Deep Rest, and just underneath it, I think it says BAILANG. I'm not sure if this is a signature or if I'm just reading it incorrectly. The middle section says the memories we create remain, and the bottom section says looking high isn't enough, reach to the cosmos where dreams are found. Personally, I'm not sure if someone named Cosmo is a member of the creative team or if they're significant to the lore. It's for this reason I decided to give the card its own category. Now it's time for the juicy stuff. Chapter 8, The Constellation Board. Unless you're new or blind, you've probably seen a version of this board somewhere in a Furality Somna world. Chances are, it's why you looked up this video in the first place. The direct translation is as follows. The constellation of the fox never speaks twice. If you dream of it, remember its signs well. Where its tail curves, the path shifts. It is the guardian of untold dreams, the ones that escape upon waking. A star followed me, like a loyal dog. It didn't speak to me, but it watched over me. When the sky draws the figure of the solar stag, it is a sign of renewal. Follow the trail of stars, and the water of the spirit will spring forth pure. The stag does not flee, it dances, and with each step, a new cycle begins. This is only the beginning, though, as tucked away in a secluded library in the event world is a scroll, reversed and hidden in plain sight. Chapter 9, The Somna Scroll. Now it's time for some heavier lore. In the library, located in the building in the back of the Furality event world, aka the place where they hold panels and performances, there's a scroll hanging from a wall with lots of backwards text. This scroll contains lore for Furality Somna, and the only way to read it yourself is to either read it backwards or do what I did. If you don't want to spend 45 minutes to over an hour deciphering it yourself, though, I have the translation right here. If you really want to decipher it yourself, stop the video right here, right now, and get to work. With that out of the way, and a very mild language and violence warning, the scroll reads as follows. The constellation of the fox never speaks twice. If you dream of it, remember its signs well. Where its tail curves, the path shifts. It is the guardian of untold dreams, the ones that escape upon waking. A star followed me, like a loyal dog. It didn't speak to me, but it watched over me. When the sky draws the figure of the solar stag, it is a sign of renewal. Follow the trail of stars, and the water of the spirit will spring forth pure. The stag does not flee, it dances, and with each step a new cycle begins. Oh my God, it was in May, hot as hell, a burning day. Golden fields, the wheat so high, birds were singing in the sky. Lovers walking side by side, whispering words all full of pride. Flirty glances, sweet romance, while I'm here with no chance. Locked away, no sun, no clue, no idea if the sky is blue. Is it morning? Is it night? Everything just feels so tight. Only one bird, my little friend, sang for me until the end. Then a guard, so mean, so tough, shot him dead. Like that, enough. Man so cruel, what a shame. Karma's coming. Feel the flame. Micah. Once in a dream, I was able to see a great tree full of lights and joy. I was traveling with an eagle. I remember visiting a desert, a village among trees, and I also remember the sea breeze. Different sensations, but all comforting. My heart was one with that of the inhabitants of those places. I felt their warmth and their happiness, their emotions and memories. At some point, I stopped seeing the eagle. Maybe it had already shown me all it wanted to show, or maybe I was always the eagle. They say a traveler once fell asleep, alone at a station quiet and deep. He dreamed of Somna, a world that flies, with clouds below and starlit skies. He wandered through chess towers tall, where strangers laughed and friendships call. He met odd beasts with wings for ears, who spoke in dreams and music clear. He watched balloons of thought take flight, pure creativity growing bright. And in the library where all dreams are kept, his story was written and will never be left. Since then, each night, eyes soft and slow, he hopes to find that world below. And now and then the stars align, and Somna opens one more time. If you don't quite understand what this means, and want an in-depth analysis on the lore, you should skip to the final chapter, aka Chapter 12, where I discuss what I gathered from all this. Chapter 10 Scraps of Lore. Around the meetup, event, and lobby instances, there are other bits and pieces of lore, most of which make up the larger scroll I just read. Some in plain English, some only in Somnidus, and some in a mixture of both. Regarding the ones written in Somnidus that are also in the scroll, I won't be reading them out, as I already have, but I will tell you which lines they start and end on, so you're not confused. This translates to Let's Go See the Stars Together. This translates to Memory. This translates to Is This Real? This translates to Infinite Library of Dreams. This translates to Somna. This translates to We Are Collected by the Stars, and just underneath it translates to These texts and books collect the thousands of stories told in each of our dreams. These ones on the board are the same as the scraps of paper. Editing it here to give pictures of the Somna scroll text that can be found scattered throughout the other Furality worlds. Chapter 11 Additional Translations. This chapter is for anything that, at least in my opinion, didn't fit into the previously discussed categories, such as these little pieces of paper, with IVAJ on the first one, VAJ and AIKA on the second, and KA on the third. There's also this little bottle that I've only found in the dealer's den saying IVAJ MAIKA. I believe this is one or more of the creative team members leaving a signature. Also, one specific portion of the text on a table in the library directly translates to, "This is an example of the use of Somnidus." This was either left here by accident or as something funny. The last thing they threw in was at the end of the community showcase where they rickrolled us in Somnidus. Chapter 12 The Lore of Somna. Most of the lore I'll be going over is an interpretation and analysis of the scroll in Chapter 9, so probably go and check that out first. I would like to reiterate that nothing said in this chapter has been confirmed by the Furality creators, and I am merely speculating based on the given information. First of all, I believe that Somna, or at the very least the library, is the place dreams go when you forget them in the morning. They aren't lost, but tucked away in the imaginary shelves. This is supported by the line, "The guardian of untold dreams, the ones that escape upon waking." To elaborate, this means that dreams you don't remember are filed away, therefore told and temporarily forgotten, while dreams you do remember are ones that have escaped and therefore cannot be stored and go untold. Some other supporting evidence are these quotes: "Where all dreams are kept," and "These texts and books collect the thousands of stories told in each of our dreams." As for the part saying Micah, I'm fairly certain that's the name of a member of the creative team, and may just be a signature on what they wrote. Just past that, the scroll mentions a desert, village among trees, and sea breeze. I believe these locations represent the past Furality conventions. Specifically, Umbra with its burning sands, Silva with its suspended village, and Aqua with its underwater environment. Additionally, the station where the traveler who dreamed of Somna fell asleep could be the initial spawn point of the Dealer's Den world, meaning the station is not Somna, and getting on the train takes you there. Chest Towers Tall is a reference to the meetup world, and Odd Beasts with Wings for Ears references those little blue creatures that call Somna their home. Balloons of Thought refers to the part of the Dealer's Den past the train station, and the library is a location in the event world. Also, I believe many of the handwritten notes scattered about could be written by the traveler who dreamed up Somna. This doesn't seem to be directly confirmed by the scroll, however, it doesn't seem too far-fetched considering the writer said things like, "I've seen this phrase before, not in books, but in a night I didn't remember dreaming." Hello, post-recording Ant here. I forgot to say that the giant tree referred to in the poem is a reference to the Furality Luma convention. Hey, future Ant here again. I came back because I found something interesting. I believe the symbols of Somna are also living memories. is brought up directly in one of the little papers. And also, there's a part of a piece of paper that translates to "We are collected by the stars." This is not written in English. This is written in the Somna language, as if the text itself is speaking to you. So yeah, this is the end of the video. If there's anything I missed or that you would just like to tell me, then feel free to let me know in the comment section. I will be reading it. uh, so yeah, see you.